Solicitors, Emreni Mwakuku Drofo, so what's na hache, Ombe Bwama Saka Wonkrata, Naswedi Dronsua, a Yomokokra, a Banini Passitnemu, any Ejumemun Sendia, Omudimu Akotenepa, Omu Omre, the many pepia, Nadia Nika Omuponise, no consultation fee.
Fortwell Solicitors always puts our clients' needs first. We specialize in all UK visa applications, detention and deportation cases, student and work points-based work permit applications from both UK and abroad. Fortwell Solicitors also deals with long residence and human rights applications outside the immigration rules. Don't wait till last minute. Fortwell Solicitors is located at
Unit 1, ground floor, Katrina House, 58 Clarendon Road, London, N80DJ. Nearest tube station, Tempark Lane and Wood Green. Overground, Hornsey Station. Buses 41 to Archway and 144 to Maswa Hill. For more info, call 0203 3257 030. Call our 24-hour line on 0754 8701 011. Website www.fortwellsolicitors.com.
Opening hours Monday to Friday 9:30 to 5:30 p.m.
Thursday Beyonce Yellow Milton Keynes.
Fortwell Solicitors is regulated by SRA.
Fortwell Solicitors.
Abusia mami ma wache ema akwaba enfambra legal hour dwumedie so said ye no epinada bia na ehia na dwumedie aba wa kwan so ene dey so ye hia ye da nyame ase se aye na adom ne pe wode ye nkwa ache ye ama ye hia ewo dwumedie so ebiem me ma akwaba aha GN radio UK legal hour said them kind of dwumedie na wasugusu awutie na ene baba bedin komo last week he ntimi ama wa kwan so fache ye wo sa kwan no so ba ene dey yaba ye say no baba be share no baba bedin komo nene yen topic eda economity no ene bedi student ho enkomo pa isan say hu ni say student visa ne de da ne da ewo ho no na ene be PPA afri mu de aba ensem bebre ne ekotwi program ewo student ensensem visa ensensem hu nyina ene baba bedin komo na ya kire se ekwan a obefa so a obetimi ehun ekwan a so pese obeye student anase oba ha so bisua de ekwan a sese ofa so a bibia be kototen de amawo eninti no a guide to student visa application eno ho enkomo na ye babedi unlocking the door to UK education ti ene tamu kutu tun safre wunu afre wadan for kache ne se dwumedie no adru so na ombra emetie bi ebre ema ye ho kwan ema ye bie eye phone lines no atum se de be ya wa wutie na wa wo hwe no betimi afre na wo question bi bisa lawyer odi aba ebre se me the lawyer number betu dwa ma me the studio lines no so betu dwa se o pese o fra wa afre ba sabre de ni srewa memfre isan se sabre ye be jai platform no e de ama lawyer achechre nememu ede amaye na ebresem no so no ya ma ho kwan ama wo de question aba ede amaye men say breno ye breno ko nanim kakra men say breno mema lawyer akwaba na afi ye di dwumedie no ahyehye so ewo sa kwan no so lawyer good morning.
Good morning, Mama Lane.
Me pacho mo ko de
Oh, nyame adom boko pa.
Yeda Yesu ase me sro chire ye nti efo ne ahwefo na echire wachi kwan kakra na afi ye wi a ye di dwumedie no ahyehye so.
Yo, anopa we dear Muama joining on Facebook, any YouTube, any or other platforms. So no yemamuachi, yemamuaha. So while we're joining for the very first time, my friend Daniel Koi, me fee Fortwell Solicitors, Fortwell Solicitors, yeah, law firm, based on North London, free consultation. Apart from free consultation, and so we practice in other areas apart from anything to do with immigration, whether say a business immigration, whether say a private immigration, anything immigration, asylum applications, appeals, detention, actual airports, bail application or person a judicial review, anything immigration biano, yebetimi aye ho ejuma ama kama. Now, apart from immigration and so on, we also have other areas to say family law, into abia divorce, be children matter, abia molestation order, social services for how with by friend care proceedings, anything family related, yebetimi so abwa or sa kwan and a ban litigation, civil litigation, and so yebetimi edi ho ejuma ama ebia obi abeju sikebi opeso de depend court opeso betua ebia oni obi etweman so bi any of those things and so no yetimi eboa e wo sa kwan no so na ye wills and probate wokrum ha say na nyame aye wadom na wenya won krata na wabo ejuma bi no so utimi make sure say wodi woniama at 2 year na dachi bi no say wonni ho no ma we chiefo no omambre anase ntokwa bi ensi eni ade intino in planning for the future no so no ye Fortwell Solicitors betimi aboa with the fact say obey will be ade beto probate hon so etimi di ho ejuma na de bia ye kan se ye kan se munia no na immigration na the biggest challenge and problem for most of our community members. Into the eba platform is na ye pese ye be discuss say trend in yama so that people will
you
be
are
aware.
Listening to GN Radio UK.
Say dia nkrofo ebe hu dia so na ometimi abo omo ho ban ade ne de se wo hwe na wunnim information we nya information na se be etoa sometimes correcting it and as getting it sorted etimi ha adwen bebre into and immigration in some ene ba be ka ho asem student visa ho asem bamalen
beda wase pa lawyer e wo nchiremu a wodi amaye ne se de wache wachi kwan fefefe so e de amaye ahwefo ne yetifo ebusuan se de lawyer achiremu e de abesi no ye fa e de atoa so na yakacho se temu kutu se enene first time awo hwe ya ye ma wakwaba e de badwumadi so ton safre wonu afre wadanfo se omra metie bi wo hwe so a wobetimi a share so wo hwe on Facebook wobetimi a share amaye wobetimi a like eso amaye na enua no bi so etimi atia fa afutu e de afrim yo lawyer mame embra also ye ka student a empe bebre ni yeta eti student visa ho asem minim say bia update ni bibia no say wo de be sha say for ba me musa me question say wo de uwie na de be sha say free update wo de sha say for so de be free question so de amaye so afine ba enkofo bebre na say ase omo ho wo so kakra say eba student visa na because we crack kan say bebre say no ntimi fa dependent bia nkan ho any ade na say baso no ebisa say obi pese wo ye application any idea and dey be no ekwan be no be fa so dey na sese wo hu dey na sese wo ye dey na sese wo ye a onko ye mfumsuo bi a na say ma ne ho nko kire no me pa cho fa ye wremu ka student visa ho asem dey sese ye tibia ne dey sese ye hu bia no me pa cho wa sabre ye jai platform na ma fa ye wremu na ye ntia se ne wo question bi a wa no si a ye busa o
Patrol you medasi bebre mama len. The reason why you decided say you better discuss student visa no so many reasons. Nyama bebre koso. Say enche na yinyane entie say government announcing new restrictions to student visa routes because they expect say where net migration will be restricted a little bit. Almost estimated say the net migration was over 500,000 from June 2021 to June 2022. Although partly attributed to rising temporary factors, you see the UK Ukraine issues are also. So we had a number of people coming from Ukraine or mobile UK. Then I will be a friend Hong Kong schemes. Hong Kong scheme scheme will be Hong Kong citizenship. Etimi eba kronimu jomo so encrofobe bre aide aba. But they also realize say the number of dependents are mobile with overseas students has increased from about 750 percent increase from 2019 to 136,000 people are mobile cronimu. They are getting very concerned. But ye shemu crown pona Now we didn't. I don't think say the way our not government blown out of proportion. It is the so I don't know, because during the COVID period, from 2019 2020, there are a number of people are not as mobile school they did put it on hold simply because of lockdowns are not air cost. So they did not come to the school until ye be more come on. There will be a lot of backlog of people on the back room has say na about school, but obviously people don't want to hear that. Until what the government is saying is said from January 2024, omoba restricted the number of dependents are students back room has say. What that means and it says back room has say na wabe any level 6 qualification. You can say level 6 qualification a degree and below. Any level 6 qualification untimi emfa wojere anase wukunu ene womba enka ho emba kronimo. I must add say as we speak now, crown for level 6 for no intimate for dependence emba already. But so be a level 7 and above into a master's degree and above there, then who can say will partner and as a spouse count who and kwala about chronimo. But they are going to suspend it, and as they are looking to suspend that way, from January next year. Until say application be a year, you need to understand say September 2023 way, maybe your last opportunity. What is our application burden? Especially so person when we busing for ediwechi na mobile chrome has here. Until it is very, very important say the basis a point as we year application fast application so that you don't get refused, you don't get rejected, because you're rejected September we are next year no so by January and that's next year September about you will not get the opportunity to bring your spouse or your partner alongside backroom has saying with a student visa intino the student visa category a year for individuals are age 16 years or over who wish to study on a further or higher education course in the UK. Say this student visa now say akwala between the ages of 4 and 17. Now say obesuya adie independent school UK has here. And yes student visa na obeye you will be a friend a child student visa instead and none as a wedding would but ABS and also the processes but for net program the main interest and that's the main concentration for almost 16 and above student visa backroom has said. Say a bano student visa application, there are a number of requirements you need to meet. First and foremost, age in very, very important. Into say, Ghana, and I say you are thinking, say, a baby and as krum has a crown pona fast na bi na opese oba UK na onyi na tisia say dia EU for ye twa musomutime or more extended family members one of the avenues that is available to them they say ebia obeba independent prep school krum has say if you are thinking of that you'll be looking at side child student visa which obviously so contacting go into details but for and then so we are making sure say we are at least the age of 16 and over and now you have been offered an unconditional place or an approved course with a licensed student sponsor. Very, very important. And I want to underline the fact that any school be year application they need to be licensed student sponsor because there are thousands of universities and colleges in the UK. But and then some of them may have sponsorship. Ebimusu may not have sponsorship because Home Office from time to time they visit these educational institutions. They go and audit some of the things that they do. If they find out, say, they are not following the duties that they are supposed to follow, and as a reporting duties and our record keeping duties, yetimi EG license if you're monsem, ebi mo honso yetimi suspended or more license, for some time. It is very, very important. Say any application be obey Ako University. One of the first things that you need to check and say Is that institution registered to sponsor people? And yes, sir, over personal statements, any applications where we see time for no reason because school, they are not on the list to sponsor people. The second thing, we are aware of, the fact that you must be able to read, write, speak, and understand English to at least level B2 for almost year degree level and above. And I say, study at degree and below. And so we English, up to a level B1. Of course, university, and as a college now, we application now will advise you the level of English they require for them to give you that conditional offer. And as we akwala, and as we between the ages of 16 and 17, now you want to still make an application for student visa now. Obviously, parents are more parental responsibility, amount consent and sana wait me aye application into this basic requirements for student visa application. This is what we are looking at. But say you come and as you bomu esuko and you come into details and you will realize say bia open say we year course be ewo krom has here and your courses bia in a wait nyaka say may by university ewo krom has say into be course 1%. You need to know say there is a requirement, there's a course requirement for you to get the student visa into this application for courses, and you need to know what you are applying for. Now, for you to be able to get student visa, any course be our person we year I bet me qualify or no. And say a full time that leads to a qualification below degree level, a year level 3, 4, 5 with at least 15 hours per week of organized daytime study. Into the course that you are going to do, if a full-time course, that will lead to a degree or a qualification below a degree, a level 3, level 4, level 3, to say A level. Then level 4, you are looking at between diploma, and then you have level 5, which is HND, higher national diploma. Then you have level 6, which is a degree. If you are doing level 3, level 4, level 5, we are looking at say at least 15 hours per week of organized daytime study. And now for a full-time course that leads to a qualification that is a degree level or above, which is level 6, 7, or 8. We are looking at any course be a full-time for that. Mount and who quite say ubetimi apply for student visa na waba krum hasen na se open say we part-time course ebi mujin say open say we student visa, all the courses are say a full-time course, but and I want people to understand say ubetimi aye application for a part-time course leading to a qualification that is above degree level, RQF level 7 and above, and also possible into say unya part-time course be na ebema qualification which is a degree and above, and so ebetimi I qualify amawaye applications for student visa. And a foundation program for postgraduate doctors and dentists program, and also something that you will be able to apply to come to the school here. Now, will English language requirements, and the university will advise you at the time of application into for each course. They themselves will tell you, say, okay, you be here this, you be here that, ebia control IELTS nafabra, na control way nafabra. Ebi okrampa na wo qualification na uwo that will fee it's something that will be able to will be acceptable into and one say obeji bibia your friend actis, and I said what they call now or more verify say the course that you did back home no English into equivalent to ABIA UK level 3, UK level 4, and once you get a statement of compatibility you betimi the amount now waiting about school say there are other people who are betimi apply for student visa any necessarily say ABIA or mobile school. For instance, if ABIA wako school, wako university be has say now you have been elected to a position as a student union sabbatical officer. Basically, so all universities now we have political positions whereby every university or student union. So our student union, they will have officers that work for them full time. Into this Oko University, now so you decide, say you want to join one of those things. Now you're elected for 1 year. Now we take a year from your education to do that. We wait means so a year application for student visa. Why at the end. Now the key thing, one thing that people don't realize is the place of study requirements. And some of it in student visa so very, very important. Unless you say, oh yeah, course be and as a course related work placement, any course be the expectation is you will be studying at the UK premises of the student sponsor and as a partner institution. Let's say Oba Abia Law School. You want to come to the law school that I attend, the University of Law. Now, Oba studies. We have different courses. There might be a course whereby Abia Uba lectures every third weekend. Into obi on Mobeka say, okay, miye juma ewo mi krum ewo Ghana and Nigeria or wherever you find yourself. But opese uba hase utu kwan eba hase every third weekend na obeye course. If you are doing that, you may not necessarily need a student visa to be able to complete your course. Internet and also is something that you need to be aware of. Ebi monso eye distance courses. Internet ebia we decided say obeko open university. Open University now work on. You don't need to be physically present at the university premises to study. Or computer, so we're anywhere in the world. If that is the case for the type of course that you are doing, it may not be possible, say, obey your application for SAR student visa because you are not necessarily required to be at the university premises. And also, it is something that you need to be aware of. And that way became very, very important and significant during the COVID lockdown era because we realized that most of the lectures were taken from the classroom to online. Internet, it will be all normal or full-time course, but he doesn't want to be physically present within the UK to do this, and that became a challenge for them. Say if you are aware of this, make sure say you read the course guidelines, you read everything about the course to make sure say we'll call lectures within UK and sana with me at the Akoji student visa. The other thing that I will talk about next what we call confirmation of acceptance for studies, and answer will be as a CAS. CAS, once you have been offered an unconditional place on a course of study, your education provider will send you a CAS reference number and answer certificate of acceptance for studies. That is the number I will be used to at the IE or visa application. This document and answer this number is equivalent to person with skilled worker visa GBB friend a course certificate I'm friend a course certificate course. Course in a year for those people who are working for skilled workers, and as a person with work permit, and a cast in here for students. For cast, say the mawa we year application within 6 months of receiving that cast. Now, confirmation of acceptance must not have been used in a previous application, which was either granted or refused, and the education institution must not have withdrawn its offer. Very, very, very important. Say there are conditions of you using SARCAS, and you are aware of them. The reason why this is important, say a be anaya mau CAS, say fire application. Application now will mistake be baby. Internet application has been refused. You cannot reuse that same CAS to make a second application. So you need to be aware of that. The CAS must contain certain useful information, which include the details of the course that you want to study, the level of study, the place of study, the cost of accommodation, and fees, any fees be with any English language requirements which will be met, and as which has been met for you to be able to study that course. Sanyamani needs to be identifiable on the CAS, and yes, as our CAS what the application the reason why I'm dwelling on this is men who say a bimu a use agents a person of the year almost student visa application over here not cast down the man no, it doesn't have all these details. Meaning maybe any panakofa cast nefi. I'm just telling you this to say yeah, cast now there is a requirement of certain information that needs to be on that cast. If you don't have any of those things in there, a application now obey in fact you be refused to one grandpa now your ban home because what use false documents there. Internet say agents need the cast and a mouse fire application. Make sure say you interrogate the CAS properly. Make sure say any information that is required in it is there, and it's a genuine CAS because abone for adults has say internet is very, very important. You are getting the right thing. And I banewa enya wo agent na oji sika no ene ye beba no eye wo momu ankasa ne ye beba no. So it is imperative, it's important we get it right. Now the next discussion, financial requirements for UK student visa. Financial requirements, Mama Len, very, 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 very important because you see, Chrome order bottom. If Kofu be person mobile school, Chrome has say, but the pocket is not there, the money is not there. Internal the requirements for this because if you get it wronger, bet me papa and that that is where they get things wrong because without the sikane, English with me pass any problem. Yes, if I degree with a qualification with bit media, but so who needs sikana, there's nothing you can do about it because we are what we are. Unless you fall within one of the special categories, it will be very important say you have sufficient cash funds available to pay any outstanding course fees for one academic year of your course up to 9 months. This is very, very, very important. Say be a oba university has say course now a valid for 1 year, a 1 year course. They expect you say enough money to pay up to 9 months of the course at a go. Say course a year £20,000, okay, for 1 academic year for a master's program. We need to see cash funds of £20,000 in your account. If the length of your course includes a part of a month, that time period will be rounded up to the next full month. The reason why it is important to understand this and say, course you na 7 months, 8 months. Say 7 months na 8 months. You don't need to show money beyond 6-7 months na with you into almost say up to 9 months when na obey then ubet and I say a course na uba 18 months, a 2 years course. You don't need to show say kind of for the whole 2 year period. You just need to show the money, say you have enough money to pay the first 9 months of the course fees, and no penna say the show. Into a very, very important that people have knowledge of that. And sometimes and sana obegnya CAS or university and as an educational institution, they would expect you say ube deposit towards your university fees. So deposit na ube ama omono. You bet me at a few. You don't need say ABR or course a year let's say £15,000. And I would £5,000 and send a year amount cash. You don't need to still have £15,000 sitting in the bank account because with your £5,000 already, you can take that one out and all you need to show £10,000 accounting at that stage. Say being swap now with your deposits to was sponsor for accommodation. Say what you have for accommodation and so you bet me are offset this against the funds that you need to show up to a maximum of £1,265. Into say was the cow honum na be say to me bank account na me de application be the me accommodation don't pay beyond the maximum allowed amount of £1,265 because that is the maximum that will be offset on your CAS for you to make an application. And also something that you need to be aware of. Then we come to living expenses. So Mama Len, it's very, very expensive in UK, especially say who decided say it's not London. Say you are coming to the university or you are coming to study in the UK. You need to be aware, say learning in London is more expensive than outside London. Okay. Say London. The expectation is that you need to have £1,334 for each month of your course up to a maximum of 9 months. Let's assume say will cost a year valid for 12 months. You need to multiply £1,334 times 9 months and have that money sitting in your bank account at the time of application as well. Now say you have learned or you've decided say or outside London, then the amount in £1,023 times 9 months. This is how much you need to multiply and make sure that the money is sitting in your bank account 28 consecutive days, ending not more than 31 days before the date of your student visa application. So calculation way is very, very, very important. So when your calculation in a year, a bit me affect your application because it can be rejected on the basis that you didn't meet the financial requirements. Until make sure say she cannot add our bank account in 28 days before submitting your application. The good news in it said they don't care where the money came from. The most important thing is that she Canada will bank account. Until say if you are making an application, Abia when we etiho. Ghana, and then you have decided say however, the money is not in your wife's account. The money is for the husband in the one account. That is acceptable. Me a use at the year application without any issue, so long as there is evidence to say you are the spouse of that person. Say entisadia, then this money needs to be in the bank account of the actual applicant. It cannot be in Abia. Na ba school ni sika ba wo fa CB and so wo fa bina e decide say obe sponsor o course no wo fa no sika on the bank account wo fa ne entimi emfa on the bank account ni emma o say G nafako ya application emfa enya dia de be ma. Even if for your brother crampa and also sister crampa, you cannot do that. It will not be acceptable. Say nipa ne person who use sika ne dia, the person needs to transfer the money into your own personal bank account for the money to sit in your account for 28 days and sign wakoye application. Of course, if you are getting sponsorship, A, be a government sponsorship, B, and as a company sponsorship, B, na almost sponsor, na ometua of course, na. With that sponsorship letter, no, that will be acceptable. You may not need to show our bank accounts, and also something that you need to be aware of. It's also important to understand, sir. So when you are bringing any dependence, the amount of money that you need to show for your living expenses will increase accordingly. And once you get in touch, we can advise you on how much you need for the number of people you intend to bring alongside with you to the UK. I mentioned, say, there are some special categories of people. They don't need to show bank accounts when they are making an application, and those people include applicants are in UK for 12 months prior to the date of their student visa application legally. The word is legally. It's not say illegally. Now say student visa application in the first place. Let's say has say you are on a spouse visa. Spouse visa we usually asesa unyama egu abonten left right unya baby a obeko what free home office what say yentwa won krata ni mu emma ntino onso a woni bibia a obeye onso a mpese obeko fie. One of the options available to you is say odu tibe ra school bi no akọji student visa no ahwe their airco. If wait na Chrome has say for 12 months and you can apply for the student visa, and you do not need to show any bank accounts for you to go to that school. No, and one say name this is one tip. So what Bahal saying so abia care home bia befoul. If Ghana say be ejuma e wa ha oba ye na ejuma na eye odin ene wo ko echna won ko ya pam we fi ejuma when your letter efi home office say within 60 days ko pe ejuma foforo anase fi kroni mu another option available to you is obepe school bi na do ti aiden area. So wait na ha say 12 months and there you also need to show your bank statements, and so it makes it easier for you. These are some of the tricks and after the tips that we are giving you to take away with you with today's program. Now, applicants are almost postgraduate doctor and as a dentist on a recognized foundation program. Almost they do not need to show bank statements. And applicants are British nationals, overseas passports. There are some countries they don't need to show that. The English language requirements, I have mentioned it already. Obviously, if you grow a majority English speaking country, you will not need to show any English way. But unfortunately, the country that we come from, the any majority English speaking country, make sure say we university, are cultural, the type of course that you need to use for you to come in. There is also the rule say any course as a student you must be a genuine student. Majority of visa applicants may be interviewed by the Home Office when they are making an application. You should expect say questions be about your immigration history, your education history, your course, where you want to study, reasons for studying in the UK, your post-study plans, and your personal and financial circumstances can be asked. For interview, be prepared, say Ubeyi and not so colorful immigration history, that application can be affected. The type of course I didn't know your course. You need to know in especially application if you Ghana, they may not be interviewed from the beginning. Into your application, yet over amount, no interview. Yam for interview near the visa mawa and no interest say cotton with family properties. Na koye party kesiye because ubedu airport hase ya yetimi jina we airport na ebisa ya yesa interview ya make ho asem because most of the problems that we are having and that we are seeing from last week this week omomoba student visa yenya bromo so papa ubeko we Heathrow airport na ya stop your BAG into look say unya o visa ni area. That is not the time for you to start celebrating. You should make sure say you are prepared for the entrance in Ankasano because the mawa of vignet about passport so utimi fa airport na urim na ubafie na ujo passport and sana wako post office akojo o biometric card no intimacy the visa ni boom no interest say we are okay and no interest say ube de make sure say why prepare for that interview that you may go through at the port of entry. Now we do honor say what is your name? I want to cast a matriculation. Very, very important. Say you know what you are doing. And now switching into student visa route. If you currently have a valid leave to remain in the UK, you can apply to switch into a student route, provided you do not have or were not last granted permission to stay as a visitor, short-term student, parent of a child student, seasonal worker, domestic worker in a private household, or outside the immigration rules. You must also not be on an immigration bill. These people cannot switch within the UK, but any other people which I have mentioned may be able to switch in the UK. The visa processing times currently a year about 3 to 8 weeks. So we calculation making sure say you put everything, you factor everything in, you know when to submit the application without having any challenges. Say you cannot come too early, you cannot come too late, but make sure say you bear this one in mind. And of course, if your student visa application is approved, then you will be able to travel to the UK up to 1 week before your course starts. If your course will last 6 months or less, up to 1 month before your course starts. If your course will be way more than 6 months, there are times I will be to me and you should be aware of all these things when filling the form because fill a form now. You maybe say when do you want to travel? And when you want to travel now, you must be aware or familiar with the immigration rules concerning student visa so that you can get it right. In a duration of stay on a UK student visa, if you are 18 years old or over and your course is at a degree level, you will usually be able to stay in the UK as a student for up to 5 years. If your course is below degree level, you will usually be able to stay in the UK on a student route up to 2 years. Where exams near you need to bear in mind some of these restrictions are also. There is also people who can be able to do other courses. If you are bearing a master's program or PhD or and also it may be able to happen. And now working on a student visa Mama Len, wako jisika wako bobesinya wako tuya school fees why bibia oba has na se wuntimi nye adwuma ohba papa ohba shisho ni ade very very important for people to know say the amount student visa na amount who kwan say obetimi aye up to 20 hours so wo ye degree level or above every wait 20 hours during term time and full time outside term time. Very, very important. Say you comply with these things. And yes, I wait to me. I'm our son. If your student is undertaking a course which is below degree leveler, you will be permitted to work only 10 hours during a week during term time. So of course, below degree level, that is what you'll be included, or that's what you'll be able to do. And dependent family members of students. Say open say back room has a chair now by a postgraduate course, that is a level 7 course and above, that will last 9 months or longer. You need to understand, and as new government sponsored students on a course that lasts longer than 6 months, and as a doctorate extension scheme student, they will partner and will partners and children must each have either £845 a month up to 9 months, depending on how long. Let's say what back room has our landing, then the expectation is each one must have £845 times the number of months of course in the aka. Also be or ba on fan bano and an urine and canon into a babe 3-4 months later. No, I find a urine and banner abba. Into no of our banner by you then calculate how many months are you left to study in the UK. You do the calculation, then you put it on into view on ma because Sikasem head in it or bed train a be a 4 months be no I find a urine, but that means it's a now £845, you multiply that by only 4 and you have that money in your account. So these are some of the little tricks that you will not see in the book, but we can advise you once you come to us so that we can make the application for you. It's very, very, very important. Say you are thinking, Ubit Naha say after your studies, Nawakoje sa graduate route visa, which is a 2 years work permit, which I'm coming to talk about now. Very important. Say Obema wombano and answer partners na abba kronimu and sana u student visa ne wu, because u student visa ne wu na wo switch ko graduate route ni ma untimi nkofa wombano ene wo partners na emba whilst you are on the graduate route already, but you can bring them whilst you're on the student visa. This is something that many people do not know, and a bonkrophobic brave form. Or we are just find area and but then he only finds out say and yet possible say ubetimi aye sadiano. Of course, say uwe o course na you can extend, you can switch to different visa categories, which may extend there for another student visa if you want to. You can extend to a graduate route, which I discussed. You can switch to spouse visa. British and also indefinite leave to remain because switch to parents of a British child. So there are so many ways that you can switch. You don't need to go back. So be worry and here so be to come back. So you can switch whilst, or you can extend whilst you are here. Settlement in the UK student visa scheme. Student visa route is not a route to settlement. However, student visa holders may be eligible to extend their stay into other categories, which can lead to settlement. Say ukra student visa in itself. We don't expect to say what this student visa. But first, now what people do is say, I'm the student visa, but your course, no, your course, we know, we are copying so many 10 years, no application for indefinite leave to remain. It's something that they frown upon. But there are ways and means. Let's assume say, Waba you 2 years, 3 years course. We have 2-3 years course, why you graduate route for another 2 years, and also abekaho. We na o years so on so person go school, no so starting school, on also cover 2 years, on also we are on also call graduate route, and also they call another 2. They do 10 years, and you can get your indefinite leave to remain. There are ways around it. Meanwhile, but people have done it in the past, and you can also do it. At Fortwell Solicitors, we regularly assist international students to move or extend their stay in the UK in order to pursue their education. Experts, immigration advisors, will be able to give you all the options and advice that you need. We can guide you through the complex home office rules and policies to make sure you get a seamless process. And the good thing is we've also partnered. We have a partner that gives us access to almost 95% of UK educational institutions. We are able to run a seamless process for people who want to come to the UK to study from the beginning. You also want to making sure to be kama akopim timer ubenya krata and as a time I'll be decided say ube fee cronimo. This is the service that we Fortwell Solicitors provide. At this stage, and I hope, say, I have managed to answer most of the questions that will be lingering on people's mind. But I mean, answer our question here at the end of the few minutes now. Let's open the phone lines and take questions and make sure say with me a for Anno. But that's it.
Thank you so much, lawyer. Legal hour jumedi na wasugu so awuti na said the unim no and lawyer actually and tricks in name say e ba say opese we student application just say the sese hu nyina me gidi say wa pese pinsi mu nyina e de amaye nanso so no all kasa no e bia na wa anti bibia siye ana say na wo bibia opese wo bisa na mesre wa e breni ni time na yetia wa me bebie phone lines na atomo nti say wo tie na opese wo frɛ na wo bisa lawyer question ewo enentry mo awatwe mu na mpacho wa ye ma ho kwan so de beba anase wo aso wo question bi na ye quick one so de beba ama lawyer eyi ano de amanti e ba cho numbers amedi to dwe ene na ofra e betimi afa akọ ama lawyer eyi ano de amanti no fresi eye 0203 735 8820 0203 735 8820 u fresi so e be so fefefe ama eye lawyer etie o question bi a wono answer edi ama anaso betimi afresi mobile so betimi atext di aba mobile ne so 0778 793 9958 0778 793 9958 and so no ye beje bracket kind unsem no ana wo question no edi ama lawyer ama neyi ano edi ama o fe enu ti ne mesre wa sabre ye bie phone lines no ato wa wo hwe ye wa wutie betimi afre na what question about every say muso me the lawyer number betu jama so person okona so ye na okuku hu eye lawyer na otimi eboa na say unti bibia so otimi chichiri mu chire wa na say we application bia ene so no lawyer number o me the betu ja edi amount na ene wa free lawyer na oyi ano edi amount fefe lawyer yenko yen question ayenya eso yenya bawe o say student obia oye student dependent obetimi aswechi ana.
Yes, obia oye student dependent betimi aswechi adentina obetimi aswechi the switching or switch then let me break it down. Ebia o baha say with wo spouse into now dependent no wo spouse and so. And whilst you are here in Nyamia be wadom na wetimi enya sponsor bi or person sponsor be ejuma e bia akonya care work bi and as akonya engineering work bi, they want to give you sponsorship. You have the ability to switch easily. They hear say nipa be ma course or ma course wetimi higher application so that you will be on your own right. Say at that stage, person would they wo yire na and as who no de wo buy and e ka ho wait me the can home. So one person never can home so and also a point at the honum say you do that.
There's a possible say
Yes, yes.
Okay. You answer question what's say will an EU family dependent needs proof of address when applying for his settlement status? Okay, so who say ube here a proof of address and now say the person has moved from independent family to his own apartment. Will Home Office do credit checks to confirm his address? And I say, what documents will he need to prove his address? Utility will be enough or no? No question.
Very important say make to me the matrimo ama 18 because a common problem which is coming up. So, application now backroom has say as an EUSS dependent. The reason why I did this and amount say also would depend on we EU national family member no so and into na you did this and amount. See the this and amount area now backroom you say you don't want to depend on that person. Then it, technically you are not complying with the conditions na yede visa na emao inti no omo eya omo ba kronimu na omo nya ba ya na omo tu efi omo papa fi na omo ami fi na omo na bi okofo omo ba ya na a big problem and inti na yenu e bisa sa questions no. Yes, Home Office for nebetimi a check they would like to verify some of the documents. So open say we year application na for your settlement they would expect to say conditions na ejina sunti ayede enkrata ne ma. Those conditions were still there or are still there, and then they are continuing at the time or more settlement visa na ebe ma. Inti se we to efi wo EU family member ne ho akobe before fra. Then remember say application na oba abeyen, it can be affected.
Okay, right. If also person who say obi a student still I would if you do a work obetimi enya settlement ana.
Oh yes, so wait now has say legally for 10 years, including being here as a student, obetimi enya settlement. The question is the student visa itself, no say them church no untimi and student visa so more than 5 years. Taught me and say oh yeah, degree master's program and above, because over be PhD they expect to say quarter 5 years the way we course me. Ntino untimi emba say me ba be ye obi betimi aba of ba be a master's program or we no university na offer a PhD program say onye into a PhD program a quarter take you be 6 years you need to finish. So to me and say however, say we 6 years in the area na say the American no obj graduate route visa etwaso, which is another 2 years. We PhD grandpa 3 years. Na ye the no eka ho emawa. Na just say wo ko enim no. So timi ase. But say wotimi di bibi foforo eka ho ansa na wetimi akodu 10 years because student visa nko will not take you to 10 years.
Okay. And check as the nkoma obi biara wo hwe na wo tie yen sabre mi pa cho so pese o contact lawyer Daniel Kwame Pacho Fre number with me a Fre Fortwell for office line now book appointment akwaku hu omo na embo bia omo obi ano omo etimi aboa ewo esa kwan so Fre office line 0203 325 7030 0203 325 7030 and now say obetimi afre mobile so 07944 976161 07944 976161 na ene so what friend na lawyer etimi aboa ofefefe e was akwan so share for Facebook ube hu say numbers are me bruce ni nyina na etwagu screen so betimi afre na wa contact lawyer ewo sa akwan so still no consultation no initial one no free e de ema obi a wa ready so person o contact Fortwell for na o mutimi boa o ntini me pa chowa ya boni de huru da ya tene fidie so ya boni de huru ntino se o pese o frɛ ana akɔ lawyer aso ya enso so no wo ho kwan se ubetimi abuki me pese o be sorry prekope na wakɔ ho da bi but o frɛ wo mu buki appointment na ebeboa ewo sa kwan so no mo hu kwan time o mo betimi di ama o no time o betimi akuduro no mo twetimi aboa we sense o mo ye very busy people pa ewo ho no mo ntine pa cho ye ne sa kwan so na ye nko ye nim enchi akese nkoma Salome ene obi a wo hwe ye mo amotete picture mo hwe ye mo amoti already no so mo hwe ye Facebook and YouTube nyina na ye chia mo nyina e pa che someone like here like my won share so na wa share my lawyer na update bi any ho ana say bibi wo ho person de so ama yansa na asori so ana
Oh, see the ambassador for who says ni aba dependence for so say we student visa and oji student visa na wo back room ha oji we dependent and wo back room ha say wo ba be prepared say we do airport e betimi be some questions afa we yere no ho afa wo kunu no ho afa school na ba no ho immigration history into people need to be aware say obi na your application na aboa and answer submit amount. Make sure say documents you've gone through it because you wait me some questions near stop you. September na airban omo person mobile university. This is the time at the applications air to two so person September when you should be ahead of your game by this time. Your application is a at this stage now helper. Make sure so seek professional help from somebody who can help you. Obia ube do airports near stop you are obetimi abetwitwa ageo ewo ho enye agent bi ho no friend kran person for documents in bro on few me that's it.
Yes that's it pa na say enchiremu a lawyer dia ma ye ehu ehia pa say Mr. wa free na ekwo ye beto to enye me ye na lawyer enye se bi se wo ba nko du wa ba be wrem kura wie no bia wo ko holidays bi wo ba be wrem a yetimi chi busibusa in some aname bo asma making.
Oh yes ube wrem even uwe adwuma mu kra mpo yet me ba honom. Na ya betcho ni ebisa questions. Ujina bus stop, ukofa o bus. Na say them say abrasi kakra. Ujina bus stop kra, but it's me be say then okwa hin unyama we hin ni ebisa questions. Intino make sure say a kwan ofa so a wodi nya onkrata ba kro ni mu. You understand the process. You know the conditions so that you can play alongside.
That's a me the wa could so not say yes sorry see. No lawyer to say before September obi person or your application or the family in account ho obetimi aye as a student.
That's why. Yes, obetimi aye.
January your friend say 2024 and let us say
any possible.
I mean sure for lawyer. Me pacho lawyer number ni bi for the last time me pacho contact Fortwell na omo entimi embo a wo hwe ye bre na apa ho 11 na apa ho. Then so for lawyer it was 0203 office line or 0203 325 7030 0203 325 7030 and I say mobile 07944 976161 07944 976161 na lawyer entimi embo e wo kwan shonko so ene ya ye did me dey ba wa kwan so me mama le ene lawyer Daniel Kwen nyame ya adom no de yenkwache ya na wo twese ne ye besa aba na ya baba be sumu e wo dwumadi so aha ne edu besie ya ka chose da se wo hwe e da se utie nyame nhira ye nyina wo hwe ye so no kan lawyer thank you so much nyame ya adoma
thank you
okay
bye
bye ebusia enti na aha ne edu besie me pacho shene so se ebenada bia na ye ba eye wa kwan so sa kwan so enti aha ne edu besie ya crown bye bye